السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فصل القياس الشرعي وترتب الحكم.
Sheikh, can we have the sharing of the screen, inshallah, so we can see the matan, the text, so we can read as well. Follow the reading.
Can you hear me, Moulana?
Yeah, can hear you.
So we said بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So فصل القياس الشرعي هو ترتب الحكم في غير المنصوص عليه على معنى هو علة لذلك الحكم في المنصوص عليه. So the chapter with regards to قياس شريعة, it is established that the ruling that is mentioned in Nas based on a characteristic which is an illah for the ruling in that is mentioned in the Nas.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. اللهم نوّر قلوبنا بمعرفتك واشرح صدورنا بنور كتابك وسنة نبيك واحفظنا عن زلل وخطأ في بيان مرادك. اللهم اهدنا لما راشد أمورنا ونعوذ بك من شرور أنفسنا ونسألك علما ينفعنا واجعلنا مخلصين له الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So we discussed before that there are 4 arkan of qiyas. Right? One is the hukam, or you can say the makis alayh. Right? Makis will be the makis alayh will be the asal. That is the ruling which has been mentioned in the Quran, Sunnah, or Ijma, on which we are trying to derive a ruling for a masala which has come up, which did not exist before. Right? So the asal, mansus alayh, is called the makis alayh. And then the fara', and meaning the new masala, the masala that is unprecedented, that is called the makis. So those are the 2. Then the third thing is the hukam. So the hukam will be compulsory, fard, haram, so on and so forth. Then between the 2, between the asal and the fara', makis and makis alayh, there is a common factor that links the 2 of them. Meaning that how do we know that this particular masala for which we are seeking a ruling falls under the category of those masail that is mentioned in the Quran and Hadith and so forth. So that is called the illah. Then the illah is a characteristic, a sifa that is found commonly, you can say the common denominator, or common factor between the makis and the makis alayh. And that is what determines that our qiyas is correct. So because it plays such a pivotal role in qiyas, as I mentioned yesterday, there's a complete separate chapter on that. Like how do we identify the illah? Or where does the illah come from? Where is it derived from, and so on and so forth? How can we test whether our illah is correct or not? Because, for example, if we say that all intoxicants are haram based upon the ayah of khamr, so what is it about khamr that makes it haram? Is it the color of the khamr? Is it the fact that it's bottled, or that it's liquid, or is it the fact that it's intoxicating? And so, because there are really many qualities. So the mujtahid's job is to try and sift through all of those and see which quality is the most appropriate to serve as an illah. And in this way, you are able then to transfer the hukam from the original, the mansus alayhi, the Quran ayat, the sunnah, or the ijma, over to the new masala that we are looking for a ruling in the makis, the makis. Okay, so he says القياس الشرعي هو ترتب الحكم في غير المنصوص عليه على معنى وإلة لذلك الحكم في المنصوص عليه. Now he's got a title as قياس الشرعي, but as I told you, possibly a better heading would be the illah. This is the chapter in this discussion of the illah. So قياس الشرعي meaning I correct an authentic qiyas, because a person can make qiyas that's incorrect. He can make a deduction that is completely against the Sharia. So a qiyas will only be considered to be within the bounds of Sharia, and when it follows these guiding principles. As I said yesterday also, a mujtahid is not free to do as he please. He can't just go out making up stuff, but he has to prove every step of the process. Until he reaches the hukam. So al-qiyas al-shari, the shari meaning the correct shari qiyas. It is to apply the hukam and to apply the hukam, the ruling, in a ghayr mansus alayh, in such a masala for which we don't find any precedent in the Quran or in the source of Sharia, ala ma'anan, upon a meaning, a sifat, wa illatun, and that sifat, that characteristic is called illah. لذلك الحكم في المنصوص عليه, for that hukam in the mansus alayh, in the text of the Sharia. Okay, so what do you understand from this? That the illah itself can be found in the text of the Sharia. So as I mentioned to you yesterday, sometimes the Sharia will mention what the illah is very clearly, and sometimes it doesn't. That obviously makes things a bit more not difficult, but that the Mujtahid will have to apply himself even to a greater extent to try and extract a ruling for the illah from that particular text. But this is also the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah gave us an aql. So He wants us to use it. And so He wants us to use it in a correct manner, within the limits, within the boundaries set by the Sharia. So ثم إنما يعرف كون المعنى إلة بالكتاب وبالسنة وبالإجماع وبالاجتهاد وبالاستنباط. Okay, so now how do we know that a particular characteristic is the illah, is the common factor, is the cause of the ruling, is the reason for which the rationale behind the ruling? So they say it is known, the illah is known, the characteristic of the illah comes to be known either via the Quran itself. I mean, the Quran itself mentions or indicates towards the illah, or the sunnati, and the sunnah, ijma, and ijtihad. Ijtihad or bil istinbat, ijtihad and istinbat. Okay? So in other words, sometimes the illah is mazkur, it is mentioned, and sometimes ghayr mazkur, sometimes not mentioned. So there the mujtahid will have to apply ijtihad to the three sources mentioned above. It is Quran, Sunnah, and Ijma, in order to try and extract the illah without contradicting any other text of the Sharia, without contradicting any other ruling of the Sharia. Okay? So as you can see, it's a very difficult job. This. Right, so that's the one thing, that the illah is expected, it is deduced directly from the kitab. So just like how the hukam comes from the kitab, sometimes the illah can also be deduced from the Quran, from the Sunnah, Ijma, because we mentioned under the chapter of Ijma, there must be a mustanad, there must be a sanad for the Ijma. Sanad means what? That they must say, or on what they're basing the Ijma. This consensus that they've reached based upon what? Quran, Sunnah, what? Then, فمثال علة المعلومة بالكتاب كثرة التواف. I'll give you an example of each. An example of the illat being mentioned and it is known through the Quran Kareem is kathratu tawaf, the frequent coming and going. The frequent coming and tawaf means to go around something like the tawaf of the Baytullah. So frequent coming and going, frequently coming in and going out of a house or a room. فإنها جعلت إلة لسقوط الحرج في الاستئذان. Okay, what is the masla here? The masla in the Quran is that if you have children and you've got people that are working in the house, okay, then there are 3 times that they must take permission from you: early morning, afternoon when you're normally taking a nap, and at night you have taken off your desk and you may be changing into something more comfortable like pajamas and so forth. So on these 3 occasions, it is etiquette that your children also must be taught to first knock and ask permission to enter the room, so that they don't end up causing embarrassment to yourself and to themselves. Okay? So in this ayat it is mentioned طوافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض, that you are frequently coming in and out upon each other. You are frequently visiting, coming in and out of each other. So now if every time the worker or your children have to take permission, it will cause a lot of taklif, will cause a lot of difficulty to every time take permission the whole day. Understood? So the Sharia has made this the reason why that other than the 3 times, they will be allowed to enter the room without formally knocking and asking, seeking permission. Tawafuna, that is the fact that they're frequently in your room, frequently in your house, coming in and out of the rooms, in and out of the house. So it's difficult to impose this ruling 24/7. Okay?
Okay.
And remember also what I said, very, very important. Although the Sharia ahkam are ma'alul, it contains an illah. Remember the reason for the ruling is because Allah Ta'ala said so. So don't lose sight of that, right? In al-hukmu illa lillah. We do whatever we do because Allah Ta'ala said so. Okay? Yes, the ilal and the illat has been put there as a signpost to guide us to the hikmah behind Allah Ta'ala's ruling or Nabi Sallallahu ruling, so that we may use that signpost as a guide to extract future Messiah. Because remember, I said right in the beginning, this deen has to last till the end of time. There's no Nabi to come afterwards. There's no new Quran to come. So the amount of Messiah that is discussed is limited, meaning as far as the principles are concerned, is only X amount of ahkam. But the matters that will arise throughout the centuries are unlimited. So the genius of the Quran is what? It hasn't just given us a list, do and don't do. But the genius of the Quran is it has laid down basic principles of rulings and told us instances of why the ruling is such. So that when we are faced with these new situations in our lives throughout the century, we are able to extract a ruling for the new masala. Okay? So keep this in mind. We do so because Allah Ta'ala says so. Only Allah Ta'ala has the right to legislate. We're not legislating. We are merely using the illah as a means of exposing. And that's why I told you in the definition, idhar. To make idhar, to expose or to bring to the fore the reason for the particular ruling. Okay? You understood that? Can you hear me?
Yes, Sheikh. Jazakallah. Yes, understood.
Okay. فإنها جعلت إلة لسكوت الحرج, because it's been in tawaf has been made an illah, the rationale, the cause, لسكوت الحرج في الاستئذان, in order to waiver difficulty in seeking permission. في قوله تعالى, in the statement of Allah Ta'ala, ليس عليكم ولا عليكم. ما فرط, what's your name? I didn't get your name, sorry.
My name Qamaruddin.
Kamaruddin, ahlan wa sahlan. Sorry about that. I should have
Okay, thank you,
said in the
Moulana.
beginning already.
Yes.
قوله تعالى ليس عليكم ولا عليهم جناح بعدهن طوافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض. there is ليس عليكم, meaning there's no problem against you. There's no problem against you, neither against them. جناح, there's no problem with you or them, or no sin upon you, or no sin upon them. بعدهن, after those 3 times mentioned in the ayat before this. توافون, why? توافون عليكم بعضكم على بعض, that they some of you frequent each other often. Understand? So بعضكم على بعض is what you call a reciprocal pronoun. Reciprocal pronoun is each other. That's how you translate it. inshallah. ثم أسقط رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حرج النجاسة سور الهرة بحكم هذا الإلا. Now, here is giving a qiyas of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember, although Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is making this qiyas, in reality, this is nas. So the example isn't very clear as such. He's not giving the ijtihad of a mujtahid, which would then be pure qiyas. This is Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam extracting or making qiyas, but then as soon as it's done, that has become nas. That becomes a hadith. You follow? So it doesn't
Subhanallah,
remain.
yes.
So it doesn't remain. It doesn't remain qiyas as such.
Subhanallah, yes.
The author mentioned it, no problem.
Moulana, Moulana,
Yes.
sorry, I have a question. Yeah, you know when it says ثم أسقط رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حرج النجاسة سؤره, you know, is this saying that aslan that najasatul that the su'r al-hirra is najasa aslan?
Yes.
So then how would we do ta'diyah of the asl to the far to make najasa into غير najis, because isn't asl supposed to be in the far as well?
Yeah. So that's because we're making the ta'dil because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did so, and saying for the same reason. Because
Okay, I see.
had this been not so, and we take into account the original ruling of the cat, and then that would have been very difficult, especially in those places where water was scarce, like Medina Munawwara in those days.
Mm-hmm.
Because the cats come in, they just drink from anywhere, open container, put their mouths in this way, that way. We have to throw all that stuff out.
Yeah.
You follow? So because the cat is such a thing that comes and goes all the time, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam exempted the cat from this ruling, despite the fact that it should have been not permissible.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, because you're saying that it's nas again, so it's asl anyway. Okay, thank you, Moulana. I understand. Shukran, I understand. Thank you.
Amen. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wavered the difficulty of the najasat, of the impurity of the saliva of a cat, بحكم هذا الإلا, with the hukam of this very إلا. فقال عليه الصلاة والسلام الهرة ليس بنجسة, that the hira is not impure, meaning the saliva. فإنها من التوافين عليكم والتوافات, because it also falls into the category of those things or persons that frequently come and go into your house and your rooms. فقاس أصحابنا جميع ما يسكن في البيوت كالفأرة والحية على الهرة بعلة التواف. Now our ulama, meaning the Ahnaf, the Fuqaha, they extended this ruling. Of course, they made qiyas to all domesticated, or you can say all such animals or insects that is normally found in a house. كالفأرة, like a mouse, hayati, snake, على الهرة, they made qiyas upon the hira. What's a common factor? بإلة التواف. The common factor being tawaf, this frequenting, coming up and down of these particular creatures. So again, if we were to stick to the original ruling with regards to their soul, this would have been very difficult upon everybody. In fact, we would have been in doubt. You know, there was a cat in the house one day, we didn't drink from here. Now mind would become confused every time. You know, we didn't drink from the pot, they didn't drink from the milk, they didn't drink from the water. Okay, so because of the extreme difficulty, the Sharia has given us concession with regards to these particular domesticated creatures and animals. وكذلك قوله تعالى يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. And similarly, this is a statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah ta'ala intends ease for you and He does not intend difficulty for you.
Moulana, sorry. Moulana, I have a question. You know it says جميع ما يسكن في البيوت كالفأرة. Does that mean that سؤر الفأرة is not najis? طاهر.
Yes. Provided, of course, you are certain you didn't eat from any najis thing. Same thing with the cat. If it killed a mouse and then came into it, then it will be najis because of the blood.
Okay, Jazakallah, Moulana. Jazakallah. Sorry for interrupting, but I just have these questions. Is it okay to ask questions, Moulana? What's your rule, your mannerism you like in your class? Because I can put into the text.
Yeah, you're free to ask questions. I might not be able to answer everything. So
Okay.
maybe refer you to the Mufti or someone, but whatever I can answer, inshallah, you're most welcome.
Okay.
Or I can try and find out and come back to you maybe the day after or a couple of days later and tell you if I find out.
Okay, Jazakallah. I just don't want to cause too much disturbance. That's why I just want to know if I'm allowed. If not, then I will obviously wait whenever I message. But Jazakallah for letting me know. Jazakallah, Moulana.
No problem. سؤال intends easing, it does not intend difficulty. بين الشرع أن الإفطار للمريض والمسافر لتيسير الأمر عليهم. So the Sharia has clearly mentioned that iftar means not to fast. And not to fast for the sick person, ill person, and for the traveler. Meaning giving them concession that the sick person, ill person, and a traveler doesn't have to fast in the month of Ramadan. Why? لتيسير الأمر عليهم, in order to make things easy for them. ليتمكنوا من تحقيق ما يترجح في نظري من الإتيان بوظيفة الوقت أو تأخيره إلى أيام أخرى. So that they are able يتمكنوا, so that they are able من تحقيق, able to carry out, they are able to carry out, to execute ما يترجح في نظرهم, what is more preferable in their sight. So the sick person, he can decide for himself, and the musafir is given a choice. If you don't want to fast, you don't have to fast, you can fast after his qada. But they're given the choice. If the sick person says, you know what, everybody's fasting, let me just try and battle it out and fast. Same thing with the musafir. He said, I'm not going to fast after Ramadan. It's too difficult. I'll just try to fast now, one time. If they want to do that, yeah.
I see Moulana broke up after ما يترجح.
Okay. So that they are able to execute that which is preferable in their sight. Meaning, ityan بوظيفة الوقت. Means either carrying out, executing the duty of the time. It is the duty of the time to fast. أو تأخيره إلى أيام أخرى, or to delay it to other days. I repeat it. ليتمكنوا, so that it is possible for them to carry out, to execute, to fulfill that which is preferable in their sight, in their opinion, from either carrying out the duty of the time, which is to fast in Ramadan, or to delay 2 days thereafter, to other days. Otherwise, to fast or to make qada later. That's up to them. So what I was saying when I broke up was that if the musafir decides, you know what, it's easier for me to fast now. Everybody is fasting, the environment is there, so on and so forth. I might not fast now. After Ramadan, it's difficult. I might get lazy, delay this, that. Who knows if I'll even fast it. So then if he wants to fast, he can do so. Okay, so whatever they feel preferable for their situation, to make things easy for them, they've been given this choice to fast or not to fast. Meaning not to fast at that moment, but to make qada later. Okay? وباعتبار هذا المعنى قال أبو حنيفة رحمة الله عليه. So keeping this particular meaning or this particular reasoning in consideration, taking this into consideration, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi said is in Masala. I don't know if the fatwa is upon this one. المسافر إذا نوى في أيام رمضان واجبا آخر يقع عن واجب آخر. That if a musafir during the days of Ramadan, if he intends to fast another fast other than Ramadan fast, maybe it's got qada from the previous year or something, and then he didn't fast one day the previous year, so he decided, I'm a traveler, I might as well make up for that qada. And since I know that's done, then that other wajib, that other compulsory fast, which he intended, will take place. Why? لأنه لما ثبت له التراخص بما يرجع إلى مصالح بدنه وهو الإفطار، فلا يثبت له ذلك بما يرجع إلى مصالح دينه وإخراج النفس عن أهدة الواجب أو لا. So Imam Abu Hanifa's reasoning is quite simple. He says, since this person has been given concession with regards to what is beneficial to his health, and Allah has made it easy for him that he may choose whether to fast or not to fast, as a concession to his health, to keep in mind what is best for his health. Okay, so he's saying that for us to give concession to this person for something that is to the benefit of his deen will be even more preferable. So let me translate it. لأنه, because لما ثبت له الترخص, because when a concession has been determined for him, was that which returns to, which is what is beneficial for his body, for his health, وهو الإفطار, which is not to fast. فلا أن يثبت, so فلو أن يثبت له ذلك, so for us to establish that same ruling in those matters which revert to the benefit of his deen, وهو إخراج النفس عن أهدة الواجب, and that is to excuse himself from the fulfillment, or to remove himself from the fulfillment of a compulsory act. Oh, that is more preferable, because now by making qada, that is off his head, so he has removed himself from that compulsory act which was sitting on his head. Understood it?
Moulana, yes, I was going to ask though. You know, here he's saying wajib. He's saying and wajib in akhar. What about nawafil? So if he just done mutlaq al-niyya, he had no intention of qada of Ramadan or wajib muayyan, is this the same thing for nafil? Because here he's saying وهو إخراج النفس عن أهدة الواجب أولى. Is this the same for nafil, or only is it because wajib is more يعني إخراج النفس عن الأهدة, that's why wajib, but nafil there's no إخراج for نفس عن الأهدة? Is there reason there?
I remember there being a difference of opinion on that with regards to the musafir and the sick person. I think it only refers to the wajib, but I'll check that up again, inshallah. Because nawafil can be kept anytime afterwards. So in our madhab, even if a person makes a nafil mutlaq, it's still Ramadan fast will fall, even though you attended nafil.
But with the wajib, can't he make that up at any time as well? Because can't he make up a wajib outside غير Ramadan as well?
Yes, he could, but I suppose he wants to take advantage of the fact that everybody's fasting. You know what I'm saying? So let me get it done, because I still got that on my head. Let me get it done now. Yeah.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Yeah, I see.
But let me double check, and I'll get back to you, inshallah.
Inshallah. No worries. Jazakallah, man. Thank you.
Ameen. Okay, so we'll stop there, inshallah. So the next example is of the illah, which is extracted from the sunnah. Meaning that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned a hukam, and together side by side he also mentioned the illah for the hukam, the reasoning or the rationale behind that particular hukam, behind that particular ruling, inshallah. See, any questions? Anything you didn't understand?
Alhamdulillah, Moulana. Beautiful, Moulana. Jazakallah khair, Moulana.
Ameen. From where are you, brother? From England? Where about in England are you?
I'm from London. Moulana, I'm from London.
London proper?
London, yes. Say that again?
London proper.
London proper meaning?
London itself, the city.